right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chuck Daddy After Hours. I'm here with my friend and bookkeeper Jessica Manuel, but it wasn't always that way. A matter of fact, when I met Jessica, how many years ago was it? Four now? Five?
2017.
19?
I think it was
7?
17. I sold
7?
you guys the house in 19. It might have been 18.
18? 18? 19? 20? 21? 22? About five. It had to be 18. I think you're right because if I look at it in my mind as other events that were unfolding as I sat down with you, I'm amazed I was as composed as I could be given everything else going on in my personal life at that time. So yeah, when I met Jessica, she was not my friend, she was not my bookkeeper. She was about 150 pounds heavier, in foreclosure and living with her mom. But you take it from there,
Actually,
Jessica.
I'm going to correct you there because my mother was actually living with me.
You're right, it was your house. I used to do that all the time. They'd be like, "Yeah, I tell these girls I live with my parents." I tell them they live in
No,
your house.
she lived with me. I owned it. And I recall it like it was yesterday. I was going into New York working at BlackRock, 14, 16-hour days.
Yeah,
um, Definitely an interesting story. And I guess we're going to go towards the topic of suicide here. Um,
yeah. I mean, whatever segues into it, but I mean, if we're gonna be pretty honest, it's something that I've struggled with and you've struggled with, and oh Christ, still here.
yeah, I have one here.
Yeah, I know.
um,
So, ooh, really,
well,
I'm glad you chose a light topic, and yeah,
well, I mean, I don't know. My whole ideology of everything has pretty much changed over this last year and a half. And I guess, I don't know, a lot of things in my mentality, I've been able to put puzzle pieces together and kind of, in hindsight, realize a lot of things that I've gone through, um, and created my own miseries, but they've all been learning and growing experiences. Ultimately, no, I've not wanted to kill myself. And I mean, I look forward to living each day.
when we say you've ultimately not wanted to kill yourself, so like, let's go
I
back to
mean,
like,
having to
did have
slice my wrists and actually doing it, I couldn't do it.
now.
No, I couldn't do
What
it.
what what made you want to do it? What opened up that dark like path there?
So, what I've realized is, and the first time I attempted suicide, I was 9 years old. Um, and I believe at that age, I learned how to, and not knowingly, create what I've termed a black hole in my mind, to where when stress builds up in my life around me, I, for some reason, my brain clicks off to this black hole, and I feel like I have no education and I have no past. And I start talking and I can't stop myself. I can't control what I'm saying. There are things that come out of my mouth that I would never talk about to anyone. Um, and it's a lot of stress related. Um, I'm having conversations with people in my head, fighting with people, and I know that it's really my way of, yes, like you. It's my way of working through different things to try to figure out what the best possible solution is going to be, but I don't get anywhere. And it's really just about letting go and living in the moment and not caring enough what anybody else thinks, knowing that I'm continuing to do the right things for the right reasons.
Okay. Make that last statement again before the right things for the right reasons.
Not caring about what anybody else thinks.
Okay. But are you there yet?
I'm working on it regularly.
It's not it's not an easy thing.
Not at all.
It's really not, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good state of not giving any fucks or not caring what people think.
I
But
think
at
that's
this,
kind of why I look for that.
yeah, I mean, it's not
I
without
think it's
effort.
why I keep coming back for punishment.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym. It definitely hurts getting there, right? It's like it in the beginning, you're like a kid and you care about what people talk about you and how you dress and how you look and whatever. And like, I mean, honestly, I still care
Well,
what
that kind
people
of
think
segues
as long
into,
as it gets results.
but that kind of segues into how my philosophy and mentality towards life and society has changed over this last year and a half. Because ultimately, we've all been raised by parents who were raised by parents who were raised by parents. And no one ever really knows how to raise children or be a parent. They're going by what other people are giving them as advice and doing what they think is the best thing that they can do.
Yeah, most people
So,
have a pretty poor example of how to raise a child from their own parents. And I mean, I think I had great parents, and if you ask them, they would still tell you they're probably pretty poor examples.
but as a society, we don't take the time to nourish ourselves, mind, body, and soul, and really get to know ourselves deep enough to say that we're all chasing what the government is telling us as what's normal. I mean, it's society that has programmed us to believe that we should be going out and buying things that we don't really need, we don't really want. We're all pack rats. We're all living in a society where it's let's get the next best thing.
The American
I
dream.
mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like all of our minds have been just so programmed in so many different ways. And I think sitting back and taking a look at that is kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, what's the American dream? Home ownership.
Honestly,
Well,
I don't know if I'd ever want to own another home.
well, there is actually a lot of stuff that you can look up online where there's a lot of evidence that points to the fact that America was brainwashed that home ownership was the American dream because now we know where we can find our taxpayers, and now they have to pay property tax, real estate, more taxes. Plus, it's
Another
hard to
way
see.
for the government to control.
Correct. And I mean, it's pretty much what they do.
Hmm.
They control, influence, manipulate, whatever you want to call it. You know the difference between influence and manipulation?
No.
Because there's no difference. They're exactly the same skill set, right? Influence is helping somebody to make up their mind or make up a decision that benefits them and you. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
Manipulation is when you get somebody to make up their mind to do something that benefits only you and not
Okay.
anybody else.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Thus, you've manipulated them into doing something that doesn't work for them. It just works for you. That's pretty much
Correct.
it. So let's get back to this suicide thing, shall we?
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. So I mean, it's a pretty dark path. Like, when did you first start having suicidal thoughts?
Which time?
The first time. So it was probably before when you were 9. Do you remember?
Yes, I would say I was being sexually abused. Um, as much as I love my father, he was a big guy and he scared me
Hmm.
because we didn't grow up in a time when it was not okay to hit your children.
Yeah.
um, and I had a mouth on me. I was a little bitch.
You don't say.
So,
I can see that.
well, I was very rebellious. You told me no, and I wanted to do it anyway. And fuck you. If I got caught, I got caught.
I get it. I
Um,
mean, I think my parents realized if they told me don't do something or if they told me no, that was pretty much how you can get me to do something.
exactly. That was me too.
Don't do that. Okay.
Um, but I mean, my parents, they did the best they could. I mean, they were great. I love my mother. I love my father. I
So
don't know. I found this black hole in my head because I felt like I was being pressured to talk about it and I didn't want to talk about it.
where are you? Right? You're 9. You're being sexually abused. You're intimidated by your father. You're afraid you're gonna get hit. Right? Like, where are you? Like, if you can remember the moment that first thought of like I'm gonna take myself out comes to you. Like, when
I
did
was
that
just
happen?
balled up in fetal position. I was afraid of everything and everybody, and I was so much anger, and it just, I was a child. And I don't think it was the molestation per se. It was more of the fact that everyone was trying to force me to talk about it. Like I just wanted to forget it ever happened.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too into this on this, but when it did happen to me and it wasn't a family member at a younger age, I wasn't even aware of the fact that it was wrong.
Either was I.
I mean, I
But
didn't talk
because it
about
was
it.
made
I was
aware that it was wrong,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We all have our own paths that we have to lead to get to where we need to be. It's
Mhm.
just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of my life I've blocked out. I don't remember a lot of my life.
Yeah, I got some black spots. Why don't you remember it, or why do you think you don't remember it?
Because I tried to, I was doing anything I possibly could to try to escape. It
Like,
started with food and cigarettes. I started smoking cigarettes at 9. I can
mm,
remember sneaking sleeves of Ritz crackers into my room and eating the entire sleeve.
sleeves of Ritz
Um,
crackers, when you eat the
yes.
entire sleeve,
Huh?
and you'd eat the entire sleeve.
Yes. Hence the fact that I went up to 350 pounds.
So what was it? It was comforting, or just you like the deep?
Anything that would take me outside of myself, and food was one of the triggers. It
So food's
started with cigarettes and food, and I mean, I didn't start smoking pot until I was 17,
how old were you when you started smoking cigarettes?
9.
Wow. So
At the
that's
time, we could buy cigarettes, and we used to go to the liquor store of all places.
you just walk in and say, "I need to buy a pack of cigarettes for my parents."
Two
You
packs of Virginia Slims menthol and 2 packs of Viceroy.
you can go get the vending machine
Yep.
at ShopRite.
I
Wait, what what grade are you in at 9?
don't even remember.
There's a way to figure this out. I know how to do it. I'm gonna do the math right now. 9 minus 5. You were in 4th grade.
Sounds about right.
Wow. I know people that started smoking in 6th grade and fifth, not fourth. Okay. So is there escapes? I mean, do you want to just get into it and all the other ones? I'm
Sure.
ready. Get it out there. Take me down some dark paths. I'm ready to go.
Well, I started smoking pot at 17. I was pregnant my senior year of high school. I was told if I didn't get an abortion, I could get the hell out.
Did
I
you?
don't know if I want to say that online.
Hmm, we could clip it later. I'll make a note right now if you want. It's 14 minutes in. I don't think it's really going to hurt anything if we leave it in.
No, but I just don't need my mother watching this and having a heart attack.
Gotcha. Okay. And
So I started
did
smoking
you,
pot
did
at
you know who the
17.
did you know who the father was?
Yes.
Okay. You weren't partying that hard yet.
No, I was only smoking pot.
Gotcha. Okay. Keep going.
Um, I had gained so much weight. I was about 240 pounds. No, I'm sorry. I was 180 pounds when I graduated high school. I went to my first semester of college, and everybody puts on 30 pounds their first semester of college. But
Yeah.
my first semester of college was a pretty much a blur. I paid about $16,000 to learn how to play tennis because all I did was smoke pot, and the only thing I passed was gym.
Wow. What school was this?
It was an all girls Catholic college in Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania. It's
Got
no
you.
longer all girls.
Well, that's a shame.
But we spent most of our time on the University of Penn's campus.
Okay.
From
What
there,
is it? Where does it go from
I
there?
I came home and I started doing cocaine because everybody told me it was going to help me lose weight. Only I was the oddball that would do an 8 ball of cocaine and sit down and eat a full course meal.
You and Mike Tyson, yeah. I've heard him say that too. He's like, yeah, you think you can make you skinny before you know it, you're a fat crackhead. I've seen a lot of Mike Tyson interviews where he talks about how crack made him fat. It's crazy. I guess it does
I
that for
don't
some
know
people.
about crack. I mean, once I started smoking crack, yeah, no, I wasn't eating. It was all about getting the next hit.
All right. So this may come as a shock to people, but I've never smoked crack. We're going to use that as a promo, right there.
Okay.
And I just, I don't know. What's the difference between cocaine and crack? Like, what does it feel like? Help me to understand because I'm pretty sure most people
So,
don't know. And this is not even fucking embarrassing anymore. You've had a life experience that most people haven't. And like, I've heard people do some crazy, what are you smoking? Crack? So go ahead. What's crack like?
for
Person.
me, like, I mean, at first it was like the taste. I don't know why. It tasted like burnt plastic at first, and then I chased the taste. But it when you take a hit of crack, it's like you can feel your heart start. You can feel your heart beating in your chest. You just get super hyper, and it just gives you a lot of energy. For me, it did. I
Okay.
didn't sleep for days when I was smoking crack, but all you do is chase the next one.
Gotcha. And like,
Definitely not a lifestyle I would choose to go back to anytime.
so what happens if you don't get it? Is there like a hardcore withdrawal? Is it like heroin where like you
No,
immediately
I mean, you don't,
detoxing?
you're not vomiting or anything. I mean, I honestly, I don't even remember my detox. It's not a vomit state. I mean, it's more of the chills and sweating, typical kind of.
Yeah, like I've detoxed off like opiates and antidepressants, and that's like no wrong with the opiate thing. I mean, I've detoxed off oxycodone, off Percocets, off Dilaudid, off morphine, and I honestly don't get it. Like this stuff is basically heroin, and people can't stop using it.
Oh,
Like,
but I did.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh no, what are you fucking scared of? I'm gonna get sick for a weekend and then I'll be fine by Monday. Like, it's
No,
pain.
but you know what? I've detoxed off of all of those other things as well. And I think the detox from those might have actually been worse. The Percocets, especially. I mean, your stomach is killing you. You're getting the sweats. You get the chills. I've gone through all of those detoxes. At this point, I am taking no medications, not even an aspirin, except for THC.
I didn't think any of those detoxes were really that bad. I thought they were pretty quick and over. It's like
I mean, it depends.
maybe
I was on Percocets for 20 years. I hurt my back in 2000, and from then on, after having a three-disc fusion in my cervical spine, I continued to take the pain medication.
mhm.
They never thought that I would get off the pain medication.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I got oxycodone prescribed. I got my hand reconstructed after negotiating,
Hmm.
and I couldn't believe the fact that I would take one of these things. It would make you talk like 100 miles an hour, crash sleep. Then you take another one, you do it again, and you set a number. And by Friday, you're calling your fucking doctor begging for more.
Yep.
And it's like, this is insane.
And that to me is just, it's not normal. We're like putting all of these chemicals in our bodies because why? Because we're seeing it advertised on TV. Why? Because the doctors are telling us that we should be listening more to our bodies and focusing on what's really wrong. I
Well, if
mean,
you
I
need
get
it,
it.
if you need it like nicotine, that makes a repeat customer. It turns you into a rental property.
Absolutely.
Pharmaceutical companies, and you need it so badly, you're willing to rob people for it.
And it scares me actually because the first time, so I'm sorry, when I was living in Lodi and I actually attempted suicide, that's what the doctors did. They medicated me.
So
They medic
I was gonna say, can I ask you how you attempted it?
How I attempted it in Lodi.
Yeah,
It was pouring rain out, and I was going to cause a really bad car accident.
gotcha. Did you do anything or no?
No, I drove myself home, and they checked me into a hospital.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw one of those videos recently where like woman drove into a gas station at 110 miles an hour. Did you see that one?
No, but my brain said, you know what? If you get into an accident, nobody will know if it was your fault or not.
Don't watch that video. It's fucking horrifying. Like the lady kills like 14 people. Baby goes
Oh,
shooting up, are dead. Somebody else catches it. It's don't fucking watch the video.
right.
It'll definitely take you away from ever wanting to do that. But holy shit, it's horrifying. How many attempts have there been?
3.
Okay, so we know about that one. I think that's before I met you, correct?
No.
How did you attempt it when you were
The
nine?
second, well, I'm sorry. The first one was when I was 9. The second one was in Lodi, and the
How did
third one
you
was this.
how did you attempt it when you were nine?
So I didn't actually attempt it. I just started drinking a lot of my father's beers.
Gotcha.
I had written a suicide note. I was 9.
Oh, pretty fucking intense. And there's Lodi, and then the last one would have been in Little Ferry. You want to tell us
Correct.
about that one?
So what I've realized over these last few weeks is that I've been under a tremendous amount of stress this last year and a half.
Yeah.
Um, I've been living in an apartment that the layout is not conducive for the heating system and the ventilation system. And that being said, both myself and my animal were sick. And instead of taking responsibility and removing us from the house, I was putting so much stress on myself that I couldn't figure out what was actually going on.
Mhm.
And I was blaming everyone else because I didn't, I don't know, I just felt like a scared little kid that didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I felt like I had gone back to that 9-year old who put this block up in my mind that had no experience and no past and no history to draw off of.
Tell me more.
Um, it's kind of felt like, I mean, the only thing that I would really change right now is the fact that my animal really suffered. Um, I do know that it has been a growth year for me that I never could have experienced otherwise.
Yes, sometimes you have to go through some pain to experience growth, and that ain't just for muscle growth. That's like
I
some.
mean, the reality is that I've been through so many things in my life. I've dealt with verbal abuse and I've dealt with any type of abuse you could actually imagine. Like anything that can go in front of abuse, I've already handled it. So,
Mhm.
what do I honestly have left to fear? What do I have to worry about?
I don't know. What do you have to worry
That's
about?
just it. Nothing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really consciously made an attempt. Like, I I can think of maybe two, like maybe, and I'm trying to think if there's any more, but it was there were very low spots, right? And I don't know if these count or not. I'm gonna let you be my my jury here. All right.
Okay.
So the first one would have been in 2010, right, where just lost $5 million. I got civilly convicted of fraud, and I got divorced. Right, it's just a low fucking spot, and I mean it was a mess, and I definitely I think I tried to fuck myself to death. I was pretty careful, but like it's pretty prominent, and I Christ, I set a goal to sleep with 100 women in a year, and by November, I had pictures and video of me nailing 77. Those were the ones I had pictures and video of that year. And I mean, it wasn't hard. I had a network and dating profiles and everything else. Just totally systemized it. And someday I want to sell it to these kids and see if they actually can play the same music that I do. Um, I don't know. Does that count?
No.
Because
That's
I mean,
definitely not a suicide attempt. That's a pleasure attempt.
I've done the math on it, right? And like, I don't know how the fuck I didn't get anything. I was pretty careful. Pretty amazing. Like somebody has to be watching out for me because I want you to think of what it takes as a man, right? To have like friends from college calling you, and because you're sending pictures of these girls every fucking night, going, "I think you need to slow down. You could be putting yourself in harm's way here. Don't you think you have enough to write the book by now? Like, this is getting a little excessive." That's the sixth girl this weekend.
Okay, so wait, now I want to go back
Miami
to
against the
your.
girl.
Okay, so wait, I want to cover your philosophy on men and women and their sexuality then.
Well, hold on. Let me give you my second suicide attempt.
Okay.
So my second suicide attempt would have been Christ. Got everything together, got back on my feet. It's 2014, right? Started in 2012. Uh, the mother of my kids wanted to have a kid. Got the business back together, making a decent amount of money passively. I drove cross country a couple years before from Washington back. I spent a year training to climb Mount Rainier, and I did it in 36 hours with no sleep and an 85-pound pack. And like, I mean, first man on the lead rope team, I'm the guy to fall through the fucking ice bridges. I don't fucking care. Like, kids were never in the plan for me. Fuck it. If this happens, great. Sure, I'll go first. I don't know. I don't know if that counts either, but I was pretty fucking ready for it.
And you would have fallen through an, but you would have been tied. Like, is that really a suicide attempt?
I would have been tied to four other people who most likely would have fallen on top of me.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't give a fuck. It was just in a low
But that's
point.
the mentality we should all have. Life is
Saw
too
some,
short. We should just live
saw,
and enjoy each day.
saw some pretty amazing shit. So go ahead. Give me your give me your take on sexuality between men and women.
No, no, no. I want your take on the sexuality between men and women because you gave us an example of something a few weeks ago that kind of piqued my interest.
Which example would that be?
The one where there are the number one porn that is pulled up is orgies. Why?
Oh, that's not my theory. That's actually directly from a book. It's
I'm
sex ed.
sorry, I didn't mean your theory. I just
Yeah,
know
no,
that that what
that's
you
actually.
mentioned prior to that about men and women and men protecting.
I mean, number one, 50% of all porn sales are gangbang porn. Is that the
Mhm.
path that we're going down here?
No, I was going down the path of why women make noise when they're having sex.
Well, that's exactly why. Because there are studies about what they call female copulatory vocalization. In other words, when you get laid, you make a noise, but me as a man, I don't, right?
Mhm.
And let's say that you're a caveman and I'm a caveman, and we're out there on the fucking African savannah somewhere. We could get eaten by like a lion or fucking killed by a gorilla or some crazy ass shit. And I meet you, I like you like me, we go, we have sex, you're making a lot of noise, you're gonna get us fucking killed, right? That's what logic would say. But instead, what they've theorized, and they've justified this theory by the fact that more than 50% of all porn sales are gangbang porn, is that when men hear a woman make noise, women have essentially evolved over the 70 to 75,000 generations of human beings that are on this planet to be whores at a certain time of the month, right? Just to take on one guy after another 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 guy when they're ready to have a kid. And men, and they even break down like the shape of your penis and everything else. And it's like it's built the way it's built. It's like a plunger to remove the other guy's load when the first load goes in and out. So yeah, basically we're built to just have fucking gangbangs, is what they've theorized.
Mhm. So society has programmed all of us that we're supposed to mate with one person, get married, have children.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, going back to the programming of society.
if society is good, right? If everything's wonderful, if nobody's starving, if we live in a peaceful land and everything's great, then I think what's probably most beneficial is going to be a situation where it's one man and one woman, right? And the white picket
And my
fence.
philosophy is at this point in time, like, no, I have no desire to get married and clean up after anybody else. I'll clean up, I'll have children. It takes a village to raise children.
Yeah. Anything
If I
about
can,
building?
if I can take care of myself by myself, then why do I want to get hitched to someone else?
That's a really good question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there really is any justification for marriage in this day and age. I mean, it's a trap. It's a trap for men, and it could be a trap for women too if you're ambitious.
Pretty much. I'm tired of taking care of everyone else. I've been taking care of everyone else my entire life.
Well, take care of you, but remember, if you want kids, that's someone else you got to take care of.
Oh, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about a full grown person as opposed to bringing a child in the world.
I mean, you take care of a full-grown person. It's some instance. I mean, like if you're a woman and you want a husband, you're gonna have to take care of him at some level, and vice versa.
I believe that we should both be bringing at least 50% to the table.
Okay, but what what is your 50% and what's his?
Well, I mean, that would be something we would have to work out, but I mean, there are things that we both would have to compromise on.
Yeah, and being single, there is no compromises.
No,
So,
I do for myself.
I mean, I get it. If I think about it this way, if I really truly think about any relationship that I've ever had, right?
Hmm.
I mean, what can the woman offer me that I can't get for myself?
There isn't anything.
I mean, if it
You've
sex is
proven
pretty
that
much
by having sex with over 100 women in a year.
no, I only got to 77 in that year. I
Okay.
mean, over a husband, whatever. But I mean, there's not much. It's like fucking make dinner, raise the kids, keep the house clean, and yeah, unlimited sexual access, and that's about it. And without that kind of shit, there's really just not much I need you for. Like my peaceful home life no longer exists, then all right, it's been a pleasure. Sorry.
Honestly, no stick is that magical.
Yeah, I don't think it's the stick that they're chasing. I think it's the retirement program. I don't, I don't know if women. I don't know if
No, I
most.
mean for me,
Yeah, I don't
no
know if most.
stick is that impressive or that magical that I want to clean up after anybody else.
Yeah, and I don't know if most women care that much about sex like that in general. They just it's the only agency that they have to win whatever fucking relationship lottery you're looking at. I mean, it's no secret that women date
I
up.
can't say on that one because me, I have a very high sex drive. So for me,
Ladies
that's
and
not
gentlemen,
something.
she's single. Comment below.
I can't say that I'm a typical woman. I'm just not. But
You're
I
unique.
mean, I would say that definitely.
Okay, so is there any reason whatsoever for you to be in a relationship with another man?
No, I mean, I more or less I'm looking for friends, and you know what? If something goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not trying to. I'm living in today. I'm enjoying today. I'm not trying to forecast anything into the future.
Okay.
There's no reason to put any kind of a label on anything.
No, I'm gonna agree with you, but I think what tends to happen is women are the gatekeepers to sex, men are the gatekeepers to a relationship, and
I don't want one.
so you were
When I
fine.
call and say I'm horny, I want you to be there. That's it. Then you can go.
Okay. Again, applying the comments.
Tall, dark, and handsome preferred.
Tall, dark, and handsome preferred.
Hmm.
Okay. 3 suicide attempts, rough year, and a crazy sex drive. Are you sure you haven't hit me up on my profile?
I'm sorry.
Are you sure you haven't hit me up on my dating profile? Because you said I'm like, I just need you to have like done a little jail time now, and maybe like, yeah, really crazy shit.
Actually,
And
I was arrested when I was 17.
wow, I was I was almost arrested last week with you. Hang out with me
Yes,
long.
yes, you were.
Hang out with me longer. It's inevitable.
No, I don't have the gold plated PBA card anymore.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on one of those again pretty soon. So tell me a little bit more about these suicide attempts, Jess, because it is kind of fucking interesting. And I want to know more specifically, like suicidal thoughts. How frequently do those come?
Over this last year, I think it was all the time. Anytime I was alone, um, I would just start arguing with people in my head. And it would just go to what's the point? What's the point of living? What's the point of even being here? Um, there's just no way out. It's just one battle after another. All we're doing is fighting. And I don't know, at some point, it's like, I guess it's just that mindset of like, you just don't want to do anything else. It's like you've gotten yourself into such a state where you're so angry and you're so frustrated and you just don't see another way out.
Yeah, I alone. I understand. I have them in the morning sometimes. Like it's like the first thing when I wake up. It's weird.
And see, I wake up and I start fighting with you in my head.
Stop fighting with me so I can stop having this. Not I mean, with no reason whatsoever. This has been happening for longer than I can fucking. It's just it's like the dominant thought that I wake up to, and then I'm like, all right, shake it off, bitch, and get up and get a cup of coffee and keep moving. And like Christ, that has been there since like elementary school, and I
See, but
don't
it's
know.
not like that for me. It's more of I think I'm fighting more to live. Like
I
I
mean,
want
my
to.
life could be fucking great. Seriously, things could be completely wonderful. Still wake up to it. Don't know. Could be on vacation. Fucking piles of money. Still wake up to it. Shake it off. Keep moving.
And see, for me, it was more that I was at a dark place in my life.
Matter of fact, if I didn't wake up to it,
It would scare you.
it would scare me, and it's kind of weird. I have this thing taped to my wall under my alarm clock where it says, "It's a beautiful morning filled with love and opportunity and positive things." I got it from a hypnotist that I went to go see in like 2003 or four or some shit like that. And Christ, I've been saying it every morning when I got out of bed for so fucking long that I am afraid of what would happen if I didn't say it.
And see, I have something in front of me that says breathe and settle your heart rate. Nothing is on fire.
Yeah, these things are fucking good, dude.
Because every time somebody asks me for something, I panic like they needed absolutely 10 minutes ago.
If I need something urgent from you, you'll know. If not, if it's not that quick, I'd just email it to you. If it's a little bit more urgent, I'll text you, and if not, I'll call you.
I'm just saying what my personality is.
Yeah,
When
no, I
people
get it.
ask me for something, my brain flips to they needed 10 minutes ago, get it done.
Yeah, I get it. I'm I'm like that too. Yesterday. So what else do these people need to know about you, Jess? Where's everything going for you? Because I found you in a pretty dark spot, right? What's the future look like?
Going up. I mean, life is too short to be unhappy.
Yeah, you're fucking not wrong with that. And
I love what THC has done for me, and I am looking forward to implementing it into some really, really, really yummy edibles.
applying the comments.
Anybody that knows me and has ever eaten my food knows that I love to cook.
Yeah, you're not a bad cook. I will definitely give that to you. So what how do you think THC has helped you? Because I'm gonna say some other crazy shit now too. I will say that sometimes certain strains, I think it might actually be the sativas, the ones that make you think a lot and everything else. Yeah. If I'm not active and doing something, those cause me to get too much inside my head and have suicidal thoughts.
Interesting. Um,
Like
and I
completely.
found that
I'm not just
I
saying
found
that.
the indicas did that to me. I didn't find that the sativas did it to me. I found the indicas did it to me because the
Really?
sativas would like force me to get up and start moving. I when COVID hit, I turned the TV off. Something clicked in my mind and said, um, "The more you move, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more you move." And I've always loved to dance. So when COVID started, I turned the TV off and I turned music on. And I haven't actually turned the TV back on. I mean, occasionally I'll watch a show, but for the most part, the only thing that you'll hear around me is music. I probably drive everyone crazy. So I like to listen to it loud.
Yeah, happens.
But I love to get up and dance, basically, is what it comes down to. I had bariatric surgery. It didn't help me lose the weight. It wasn't until I actually got up and started moving that I started actually dropping the weight again.
Yeah. Tony Robbins has got this interesting thing that he says. You ever go see him?
Mm-mm.
It's emotion comes from motion.
Mm.
I mean, I think there is a lot of truth in that too. Where
Oh, absolutely. You're
I,
you're you're increasing there's a hormone in your brain, and that's increasing with the movement that you're doing.
yeah, I mean, like for me personally, if I'm not on like an exercise schedule and like a meal plan, um, I'm not fun to be around. I'm not fun to be. I don't even want to be me. Like it's like I've just learned how to manage myself, and it seems like just eating 6 times throughout the day, keeping my blood sugar stable, exercising puts me in a better mood, makes me more productive, makes me a happier guy to be around. And if not, I just want to fucking watch the world burn. So what else do you think has helped other than THC?
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't even take an aspirin today. THC is a natural anti-inflammatory,
Hmm.
and even CBD has a lot of really great qualities in it. But my hope is to eventually be able to open up something to where I can provide meals to hospitals and patients that are going through chemotherapy or people that really need some type of food that they can get the THC in if they don't enjoy smoking it or something of that nature.
I used to date a nurse that actually did something like that. It wasn't exactly legal, but she would smuggle stuff into people because it made them not nauseous. I mean, I do get it, like having had a PIC line in my heart and a medical card and a whole bunch of meds and throat detoxing. Like, I'm not denying this shit can help you. Like, it definitely helped me survive just a 3 month antidepressant detox from hell, where, I mean, all my underwear are new and my teeth are from throwing up. And I think it would have been a lot worse without that because they would give you Zofran. You ever hear of Zofran?
Yes, I've taken Zofran.
It's like this anti-nausea med, but you can only take 3 of them a day. It's good for 4 hours, so that's 12 hours. So now the decision you got to make is you take the Zofran all day and have mental clarity and work, but then you got to smoke weed a few times at night when you wake up sick. And I remember I usually opted for the Zofran at night because it was easy to roll over in the nightstand and take a pill. And I just take a bung hit like every 3 4 hours every time I felt kind of nauseous because being tired over the toilet trying to light a joint while you throw up on it wasn't really fun.
No, I mean, I went through the detox of Percocets, and that after 20 years of taking them, I just I don't know. I just made a decision. My doctor told me once you're on them, you never get off them, and I looked him dead in the face and told him that's not true. And the following month, I went back to him and I told him I haven't taken them, and I haven't taken them since.
Ah, there was your income stream right there. I think that's probably why they cut back on a lot of this stuff is because people do sell it.
Yeah,
Get some kind
well,
of street value to it.
definitely not. It wasn't worth it.
No, it's definitely not worth it. So what's the biggest challenge you think you're facing today, Jessica?
Um, he gave me no time to think about that one. I'm not exactly sure. Right now, I'm just trying to be me. Someone extremely intelligent told me to just be me.
I
So
have no idea who you're
that,
talking.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, I mean, look, if I was going to be open and honest with you right now, I would say that the biggest challenge you have is you. It's kind of like you're middle aged like me, starting everything over. And now you gotta relearn it the way that you were never taught, and
it's
it's gonna
like
be a
starting over, like being reborn.
you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's a good thing you're not a dog.
Hey, at least I have my education still.
Yeah, at least you're not a dog, right?
Pretty much.
What's the best thing you got going on?
That tomorrow is another day and the sun is going to rise, and that the only person that I truly answer to is God.
Not bad. All right, we're coming up on 50 minutes. What else do you want to talk about and tell the people here?
I'm an open book, so ask me anything you want.
All right, you want to give everybody a plug in your social media here so they know how to get you. This is gonna drop tomorrow.
Uh, sure. I'm only on Facebook.
Yeah, well,
I don't like
you
technology very much.
you can give me your name on Facebook. I thought I saw you on Instagram.
I think I have an account, but I never check it.
Give him your Facebook. You can give him your number if you want. You might get a couple
No, I
dates.
don't think I'm going to put my number out on, on social media public. But my name is Jessica Manuel. I'm sure
There you
you
go.
can find me.
You can find it on my Facebook. It's real easy. All right, Jess.
Now do your fucking job.
Give you a hug. I'll see you tomorrow when we get done
All right.
working, and it's definitely a pleasure. Thanks for playing, and let's do this again soon.
Yeah, I can't even find the camera.
Yeah, I know it's hard, right? It's backwards.